Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another podcast episode. My name is Jaivia Monea, the host of the Echoes of the Void podcast, where I help you explore spirituality from all aspects, recognize your potential, and energize your passion to align with your highest self. Today, we're stepping outside, literally and spiritually. You ever notice how almost everyone in life pulls us away from nature? We wake up in a box, drive in a box, work in a box, stare at a box all night. Yeah, nothing but boxes. Isn't nature beautiful? In nature, you have lines and curves and intricate details. What if that's how we are supposed to be? We wonder why we feel so disconnected, anxious, and burnt out. But what if I told you that every single bit of clarity, healing, and energy that you need is right in you, already here, woven into the world around you? That the universe has been whispering answers to you through the wind, the trees, and even the dirt right beneath your feet. Today, we're breaking down the spirituality of nature. How the natural world is a reflection of our soul's journey. Why grounding isn't just some spiritual woo-woo concept, but actual science. And why water is one of the most powerful spiritual tools on earth. And of course, in true Echoes of the Void fashion, we're tying in pop culture, deep philosophy, and things you probably never thought about before. So, take a deep breath, get comfortable, grab some tea, and let's reconnect with the wisdom of the earth. Segment 1, nature as a mirror, reflections of the soul. Nature isn't just outside of us, it is us. The same patterns in tree branches exist in our lungs. The spiral of a galaxy matches the shape of a seashell. The world outside reflects the world that is within. In Avatar: The Last Airbender, each element is tied to spiritual discipline, showing that nature is more than just physical. It's deeply energetic and psychological. Let's talk about the fact that the seasons represent our life cycles. Technically, the third video that I ever made on this podcast was about the new year and how the new year means nothing. Go and you choose and decide when to start. The original new year was actually in spring. The reason why they call it April Fool's Day is because they wanted to make people feel foolish for believing that April 1st was the new year. Spring is the time for birth and renewal. So, Happy New Year to y'all. Happy New Year, everybody. It's that time. New beginnings, fresh ideas, and innocence. Think about it. Why would a new year start during the middle of a winter season? It wouldn't. Yeah, it wouldn't. A new year is time for growth, time for evolution, and time for things to spring out. You don't see plants and nature flourishing during the winter season because it's too cold. Even bears hibernate during the winter. So why would we try to start something new and expect it to flourish in the winter? You should have been planning before. Your planning should have started in hibernation season. You know, when that new year, the new year, as the Western world calls it, began. Yeah, that's when you should have started planning. But now is your time to be acting. Now is your time to not be reacting to all of the things that are around you, but you've already went through your planning season. Now it's the time to move, go, do it, be that. Because it's spring. Fresh ideas, new beginnings, and innocence. The summer is the time for growth and action. I'm seeing energy, movement, and passion. Summer is the time for you to be working out. Soak up the sun. The vitamin D is good for you. It's not just something that I'm saying. This is scientifically backed. You chill for a little bit and you embrace the rays going onto your body. Yeah, so you need to move. Be passionate about something. Get some stuff done. And shoot, check off all those things on your to-do list. The autumn is for letting go, for transformation, reflection, and shedding old beliefs. So in spring and summer, we're acting. And acting is how we gain experience. And through gaining experience, you gain knowledge. And through knowledge is where you gain competency. When you get competency, that's when you have to learn and adjust in order to figure out what the best outcome can be and how to get there. Autumn is for letting go, for transformation, for reflection, and for shedding those old beliefs. So before, when you start in spring and summer, you're going to feel like you're going to feel like you know it all. You're going to feel like you have this all together. Like everything is working out for you, period. Right? Well, by the end of the summer, you're going to be like, oh, baby, did I not know what I was doing? And that's because you're gaining experience. And through experience, you learn what you don't know. So in autumn is when you're going to let go. You're going to shed things, shed old beliefs, and you're going to reflect on what you have learned. Reflect on the mistakes that you may have made. It's okay to make mistakes. Just recognize them and fix it. Winter is for introspection and stillness. It's for rest, solitude, and wisdom. We can't start something new in the middle of introspection time. That makes no sense. But now it's spring. It's time for that new year. It's time for you to be acting. Winter season, you take your time to yourself. You look internally and see the things that you'd like to improve on, the things that you want to move and put into action within this next season. And then when that next season comes about, you're going to repeat it again. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. And I hope they have a different meaning to you now. Here's an analogy for you. I love to use the example of trees. I call it the tree analogy. The mind is the branches, always thinking, always reaching for new ideas. The emotions are the leaves, ever changing, shedding, and growing back. The soul is the roots, grounded, deep, unseen, but strong. My question to you is, if your life were a season right now, which one would it be? And also, are you resisting the natural cycle that you're in? Segment 2, grounding, the art of absorbing energy. We charge our phones every single night, but when's the last time that you recharged yourself? Our bodies absorb electrons from the earth, which literally reduces stress and inflammation. On TikTok, they literally have sheets that are going viral right now that connect to the energy from the earth. The energy comes naturally from the earth. We realize how much we've been fooled because we pay for it every month. In Black Panther, they talk about the ancestral plane. Y'all could correct me if I'm wrong. Connects with her ancestors through the earth, the vibranium rich soil, showing that the ground carries wisdom and energy. There's actually science behind grounding. Walking barefoot on the earth helps to regulate your nervous system. It balances your energy and lowers your cortisol. So instead of getting a packet off of TikTok to lower your cortisol, Try just stepping in the grass. Feel how your body feels, genuinely. The Earth's electrons neutralize harmful free radicals in the body. Studies actually have shown that grounding improves sleep, reduces inflammation, and even boosts the immune system. So why don't more people do it? Let's gather some information. Why haven't you been grounding? So once you answer that question, let's talk about the best time to ground. Morning grounding helps you start your day with clear and energized intentions. After a long day, you can release stress by grounding. It'll reset your energy field. After emotional moments, grounding helps to balance your energy. It balances your body and your mind. Those are the times that you should be grounding. Tell me in the comments, are you going to do it more? Touch the earth gently and listen. It has been speaking long before we arrived. I be learning right here with y'all. So I challenge you. Take 5 minutes today, barefoot, outside. Stand still. Breathe deep. And just listen. What does the earth feel like beneath you? Segment 3, the laws of nature. The universe isn't hiding its secrets. It's screaming them through nature. The wind literally carries knowledge, but only those who listen can hear it. This may have just seemed like some nonsense, but ultimately it's the truth. You gotta realize that the same wind has been circulating through the world for centuries and centuries and centuries and centuries and decades on decades on decades and decades before we were even here. The same air has been circulating. So you mean to tell me that that same air can't have knowledge and woven into it due to the same thing, due to new things being introduced to it and the same things being circulated through it? Not only that, when we really start thinking about and putting our minds to the fact that when we talk, sound comes out of it, and that sound is carried through waves that are waving through the air. When we start thinking about frequencies and how there's a radio frequency that you can tune into that is literally waved through the air in order to get to your vehicle, you start to realize that everything is energy. Everything, all of it. Reality is built on fundamental energies, just like nature. We control our realities. So how are you going to change yours? I'll tell you one thing, it starts with the thoughts. The law of rhythm. Just like tides and season, our lives move in cycles. The law of oneness. The trees breathe out what we breathe in. We are literally one with nature. Without trees, we would not be able to live, because there would be no oxygen for us to take in. And with lack of oxygen, we die. With lack of carbon dioxide, the trees die. Because that's what they take in order to do their process of photosynthesis. Isn't this amazing? That could have only come from a source that is so beyond us, but within us. The law of correspondence. As above, so below. As within, so without. What is happening internally is what's going to show outwardly. So internally, you need to be really, really taking that time with yourself. Taking that winter season and reflecting. There's a book y'all need to get called The Kabbalah. The Kabbalah, Ancient Hermetic Wisdom. It talks about how natural laws shape our reality. That's the one. That's the one. Go get that real bad. Nature is not a place to visit, it's home. And once we realize that, we're going to get back to it. Let's deconstruct this idea that all we have to live in is boxes. Let's get creative. I was looking at Pinterest the other day and I saw this picture and this picture and this picture. And y'all, what? Natural houses made out of mud, excuse me, but horse manure and cow manure, because those are natural repellents to bugs. Why is it that they would build homes and structure homes out of materials that attract insects such as termites? Money. They want some money. Well, guess what? We can stop giving them money. Yeah, go buy some land and start building them houses. I'll put the name of the houses up above me because I don't remember. But ultimately, nature is not a place to visit, it is home. Now I want you to reflect, what nature cycles are you resisting in your life right now? And when I'm asking this question, I'm not just asking you, I'm also asking me. Segment 4, healing through nature. The unspoken therapy. You know, nature is the original therapist, the original healer, and she never sends a bill. Isn't that interesting? There are different types of nature for healing too, like forests. Forests calm the nervous system. You hear the birds chirping and the rain pecking on the leaves. You hear the wind blowing through the trees. You may hear like snakes. You may hear like monkeys, like like you'll just hear a whole bunch of different sounds, and those calm your nervous system. Oceans help to release emotions. I've never seen a real ocean. The only ocean that I've seen was Galveston, and that just ain't okay. I'm really looking forward to experience an actual ocean. I can only imagine hearing the waves and feeling the wind coming off of those waves, and man, just everything like that. Seeing the sunset on the water. What? Deserts teach solitude and introspection. They actually did some studies, and they found out that whenever a person sees nothing in front of them, so let's say you were in the desert and you saw nothing but sand, the same sand, just sand for miles and miles and miles, that's all you could see. Well, they say that that's when the mind goes into a state of psychosis and starts hallucinating. Since it can't see anyone or anything else, since it can't internalize things, and the mind has to literally go within itself in order to find things to pay attention to. Y'all, I learned so much researching on this episode. So then I gotta ask you a question. What type of landscape feels like home to you? That's your medicine. Segment 5, water, the gateway between worlds. Water isn't just hydration, it's transformation. These cartoons and movies aren't just talking about things to talk about them. They're talking about things that have been around for centuries. And somehow people have been convinced that it's witchcraft. It's nature. The other day, me and my friends were talking about whether or not we're witches, right? And I'm like, I mean, it's all subjective. It's all subjective. I'm like, it is all subjective, because let's be honest, we go and we make soup, right? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, and we put different ingredients into that soup and make sure it smells good, and that uses different spices and herbs, the same spices and herbs that you can use for spells, right? And they were like, you know what? Yeah. And I was like, so in essence, isn't everybody a witch? Nah. Isn't everybody a witch? So in my opinion, we're all witches. Cause if you done cooked a meal, you done casted a spell in some type of way, shape, or form. Okay. Water holds memory. And I'm not just saying stuff, y'all. Scientific studies show that water molecules can be influenced by thoughts, emotions, and even spoken words. Wow. I'm going to put it on the screen because I don't really know how to pronounce it, but I think it's called Masaru Emoto's water experiments. Go and check them out. Water is a portal. Every major spiritual transition has water rituals, baptisms, purification ceremonies, anointings, and sacred baths. Before y'all start talking about witchcraft, let's talk about the fact that this is human nature. This is human nature. Before we just start throwing things out there, let's actually logically think about the ideas. For years and centuries, people have been dancing. Just because they dance a certain way now, it's considered witchcraft. For years and centuries, people have been getting baptized. Okay with baptism, but not okay with other things. No. It's all just human nature. And it's also all subjective. Water resets the body. Swimming, especially in natural bodies of water, flushes out stagnant energy, and it helps us reconnect to our primal state. Let's talk about dolphin-assisted births and why they were banned in the United States. Here's the concept. Some cultures believe that dolphins have a special energetic frequency that can aid in childbirth. Dolphins use echolocation, which some claim can calm the nervous system and create a smoother birthing process. Why it was banned. Despite anecdotal evidence of the benefits, dolphin births were banned in the US due to safety concerns. Wild dolphins can be unpredictable, and there were fears of potential aggression or accidental harm. Scientists also worry about misinterpreting dolphin behavior since they are still wild animals, despite their intelligence and deep connection to humans. Whether or not dolphin births are safe, the fact that we even sought them out speaks volumes. Humans instinctively recognize that water creatures, especially dolphins, hold a wisdom we've forgotten. It's no coincidence that ancient myths depict dolphins guiding lost sailors, rescuing drowning humans, and serving as messengers between worlds. So then I ask you a question. If water holds memory, what kind of energy are you imprinting into your own body? If the ocean could speak to you right now, what would it say? Here's the conclusion. There was a forgotten wisdom of nature. Nature isn't just something we visit. It's something that we are inside, naturally. At some point, we forgot. We forgot that Earth isn't just a flocking, floating rock in space. It's alive. We forgot that the wind carries whispers of wisdom, that trees remember, that rivers can cleanse not just the body, but the soul. We live in a world where it's normal to wake up on artificial beds, stare at artificial screens, eat artificial food, and wonder why we still feel so disconnected. It's because we need things that are natural. Natural food, natural beds, natural screens. Do you realize that the sights that we're able to see with our own two human eyes are so beautiful? The fact that we're even able to see colors is amazing. That is amazing. Wow. The best thing is, though, nature hasn't forgotten us. Nature hasn't forgotten us. We are right here, and nature knows it. The second that you step outside, take off your shoes, let the sun touch your skin, and let your fingers trace the bark of a tree, you remember. So what does this mean for you right now? If you've been feeling lost, step into the forest and let the trees remind you of patience. If you've been feeling drained, walk barefoot on the ground and let the earth recharge you. If you've been feeling stuck, go to the ocean and let the waves teach you how to let go. Nature has always been the original teacher, the original healer, and the original home. I challenge you, go outside today, even for 5 minutes. Leave your phone, step on the ground, and just listen. Then come back and tell me what you felt. We can call it Remember Our Roots. Hashtag Remember Our Roots. All right, y'all, now it's time for a song. This one I wrote because I was remembering my grandma. She passed away in 2020, and I love and miss her so much. And I've had a lot of loss over these past few months, and this song has been on my heart lately, so I'm gonna sing it for y'all. This would be like a remix to TKO, like, I think I need to let it go. Let it go, let it go, go. Seems like another love TKO. But here's how mine goes, okay, y'all? I need to let it go. Losing you felt like a TKO. I just need to let it go. I've learned to live with the TKO. These days, had to keep your messages on replay. Those days, never saw the signs until your last days. Like an open wound, I wanna get away. Pain looking right up in my face. I'm just trying to navigate the space. Cringing at the old me, loving the progression we made. Learn another lesson a day. All we do is making a way. I miss your spirit, oh, while you're gone. I miss your spirit, oh, while you're gone. I need to let it go. Let it go, let it go, go. Losing you felt like a TKO. I just need to let it go. Oh, I've learned to live with the TKO. Yeah, I like that one. It reminds you that regardless of the fact that all of it feels so heavy sometimes, grief is not something that you necessarily just get over. Grief is something that you kind of learn to live with. And just like cycles, grief ebbs and flows. When you are missing a spirit, try returning to nature. Now, y'all, remember our roots, remember your energy, remember where you come from. Take a second and ground, and as always, embrace the void.